Good afternoon, folks, and thank you all for coming. I know that we didn't give you all a bunch of lead time to get here in regards to this particular story, but let us say this: on Monday we had a rather significant robbery take place here in McAllen. We had as you know, those of you that have reported upon this, the Deutsch Deutsch jewelry store here in McAllen at the McAllen Plaza Mall. Basically struck by 4 individuals, and in the course of the robbery take a substantial amount of watches and jewelry from the store. I will tell you that since that time, a lot of law enforcement agencies have been working together very closely to try to identify the actors in that particular case. We have FBI involved, DPS involved, of course McAllen, and a multitude of other agencies in between all of us. We have various groups of analytical persons working the leads, and we have had a substantial amount of leads in the last week or so. We have been working very, very diligently to make the identification. We know that these particular actors were in the city of McAllen. We know they drove a particular vehicle which was located subsequently there too, and we've located that vehicle. We know what other vehicle they took from that location, and we know where they've been previous to that location. We know what kind of tools they used to commit the armed robbery with, and we've tracked those down as well. So in the process, thanks to the outstanding work of a DPS trooper on Interstate 35 on the date of the robbery about 8 p.m., that trooper made a particular traffic stop, and 2 individuals were in the vehicle subject of a traffic stop. Those are the 2 people whose pictures you see off on the right-hand side. Those 2 people acted rather suspicious in the trooper's view, and had a bag of substance in the back of his vehicle, in the back seat, that drew the trooper's attention. As it turns out, the contents thereof happened to be the jewelry that was stolen from us from the Deutsch Deutsch robbery here in McAllen. We have, over the last 24 hours, confirmed that that's the property, and we're doing this through serial number identification, so it's a lengthy process. But we've taken out one item at a time from the inventory up in Waco, and compared that watch the serial number of that watch with the list that we have, and each time we've matched up 20 already out of 90 plus watches that were stolen, and 90 plus watches that have been recovered in that traffic stop. So police officers, law enforcement personnel across our department, and certainly across our state, have been working very, very diligently to bring this case to a successful end. We have 2 people now that we've identified in this particular possession of stolen property. They are our suspects right now in our armed robbery. We are looking to identify 2 more. We have flown people to Waco this morning to meet with our DPS counterparts and with McAllen County people up there to further the investigation. The 2 people whom are pictured above are from the city of San Antonio. They have history in San Antonio. They have extensive criminal history records. One person we know one person has a history with us in McAllen, and that is Marcus Ramirez. I'm not sure where he's at. He's off on the left side there. Marcus is a picture off to the left. He has a history with us, an arrest history with us, not necessarily a residential history with us, but he has an arrest history with us. The most recent one in 2006 involving a burglary of a building, evading arrest, and a stolen vehicle charge out of this particular area. He's currently wanted by us for criminal mischief charges as well on yet another incident. So Marcus is a McAllen connection, at least at this point, one of maybe others that we are particularly looking to identify. So I've spoken to Colonel McCraw earlier today at DPS and have voiced to him from the City of McAllen and the McAllen Police Department our thanks for a job very well done by a trooper on Monday night. And we've asked our local commander of DPS, Joe Rodriguez, and some of their counterparts here with us, some of our counterparts here with us, to join us this afternoon so we can not only thank them, and we appreciate very much, if it were not for that trooper's action that night, I cannot stand here and tell you we would have recovered them. We have been working very diligently over the last week, and it's possible that we may have identified somebody. We have plenty of information. We have plenty of leads that we're working with. It's possible that we may have made an ID due through DNA evidence or some forensic way. But recovery of all of this property is wholly due right now to that trooper's actions. And for that, we're very appreciative and indebted to DPS and that trooper's action that night. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I will yield to Commander Joe Rodriguez in case he has any opening statements, and then we'll take your questions. Commander?
Thank you. I'm Regional Commander Joe Rodriguez with the Texas Department of Public Safety here in McAllen. Just want you to know that we're real proud of our DPS troopers and all of the law enforcement here in the Rio Grande Valley. They do a fabulous job. Every day, nearly 2,000 Texas Department of Public Safety troopers patrol the nearly 225,000 miles of highway. We place emphasis on our known drug corridors. Many of y'all down here in the valley, we've got 281, Highway 77, 35 coming out of Laredo. So we've got plenty to keep us busy down here. It was on Monday, May 16th, 2011, at approximately 8 p.m., a DPS trooper made a routine traffic stop on one of these drug corridors. He made the traffic stop on Interstate Highway 35 in McAllen County, south of Waco, near the town of Lorena. The vehicle was stopped for following too closely and also for drove in left lane, not passing when prohibited. The driver and passenger were identified and displayed criminal indicators in their behavior, including nervousness and conflicting stories regarding their destination. Consent to search was obtained. 91 Rolex watches and other high-end jewelry were located in a small overnight bag in the rear seat area. They were arrested for trademark counterfeiting, which is a first-degree felony. At first, we believe the inventory was counterfeit. So in coordination with the FBI, with McAllen PD, we were able to make the connection. Again, we're really proud of all our troopers and all our law enforcement officers, and the Texas Department of Public Safety remains committed to the Rio Grande Valley and the state of Texas. Thank you.
Gentlemen, we have fanned out, as you might guess, over the last few hours, all over the state, with regard to the events as they have unfolded and as they have become known to us. We've got people all over the state at this point in time following up on this. So there's some limitation to what we can say as to where we go from here. But as to the update of the story, we've kind of briefed that. We kind of have given you an idea of what we've been working on all week long. And over the last few hours, certainly the news of that these may be in the custody of DPS in McAllen County really shifted things in high gear. So with that said, the last thing I'll tell you is well, I'll say two more things. One, the investigations continue. I think we're far away from concluding them, number one. And number two, in the process, we want to thank you all again, once again, in the media. If you've noticed, we've kind of sent things out to you, so we have this, we have that, these are updates. Anytime we do that, and I've told you all that time and again, anytime we do that, it's because we need your help. And every time you've been out there, you've put the information out, and those particular actions on your part triggered things for us, and in the end, help us help our community. So for your work, we thank you, and we thank you for being here. Questions?
Bueno, necesito la misma información que dio, pero en español.
En francés lo vamos a hacer primero y luego. We'll do it right now. So let me get some of the. Yes, sir.
Those gentlemen are in custody right now.
They have made bond in McAllen County, so they are the subject of our robbery investigation here, and we hope to charge them as such.
What were they arrested for? Trademark?
At the time of the traffic stop and when the detection of the jewelry was made, and the commander is here, but they would let the trooper to believe that they were counterfeit watches. So, which is very important to us because I mean, obviously they knew they were hauling the watches, and evidenced by those statements. So when they acknowledged that they were counterfeit watches, the trooper, again, thankfully enough, he was on his toes. He was alert enough, saying, "Well, if they're counterfeit, then this is a counterfeit charge," and that's what they were originally held on. So on that charge, it bonded out. Obviously, we know different now.
It was trademark counterfeiting, first-degree felony.
So we don't know whether, or do we know whether or not these two were two of the men that actually committed the robbery, or if they were just running?
Well, we strongly obviously believe that. I mean, there are a lot of things that have to come into play yet, but just the timeline alone, if you look at the timeline. So, I mean, you know, Waco is 7 hours from here. This is 8 hours after the robbery here. So they hit and immediately made, those watches didn't appear there all of a sudden. So, I mean, there is no time difference between the robbery and their actual detection with the loot from the robbery. So, again, evidence, I think, in the end that will allow us to charge them with robbery if we choose to go there. Right now, the more serious charge is simply possession of stolen property. In the amount of dollars we're talking about here, it's more advantageous to us to seek a possession of stolen property charge because the dollar is so great that it is more serious than a robbery charge at this particular time. But we're not foregoing that at this point.
But so far, the charges?
No, they're charged with the counterfeit. We're transferring those charges down here and hopefully charging them with our theft as well.
So the gentlemen are going to be brought down here, or
Well, remember, they're out on bond already. They made bond on the counterfeit charge in McAllen County. We're picking that up from there.
Okay. Now, you mentioned the dollar. How much are we talking about? Ballpark figure?
Well, it's you know, the charge that we can go to with regard to the felony that we're talking about, a first-degree felony, is property in the amount of $200,000 or more. And all I will say to you is that the value of the stolen property that we believe is far greater than $200,000. That allows us to charge them with a first-degree felony, which is greater than a robbery charge, perhaps. You know, so. But we're not foregoing that. I mean, if we'll prove up the robbery as well, which I think we will.
Are there any safety concerns with the mall? What do shoppers need to know? What do people need to know, Chief? Are you considering this an isolated incident, or are you going to have extra men around the mall?
There is, you know, nothing about this particular robbery. As a matter of fact, to the contrary, it makes us believe differently. Okay. We hear about these basically mobile kind of crime operations. But we believe right now, based upon all the evidence that we know, remember we have a vehicle which we had to use in a robbery, previously reported stolen out of San Antonio. Now we have these guys, you know, with no time wasted in between the robbery time and their arrest, with all of the stolen merchandise that was a result of this. So what we have here is, we believe, is a group that came down here. identified a location they were going to hit, and they left the area. And were about to make their escape safe that trooper's actions.
Are these two U.S. citizens?
Yes, ma'am.
We've been looking, the pickup that was the new vehicle, then this is just like Commander. This gentleman, when they stopped, was it one of those vehicles, or like the Commander, or was it something else?
Neither one of those.
Okay.
Thank you all for being here. We appreciate you very much. And again, thank you all for running those leads out. I mean, I say run them leads because we give them to you and you all put them out there, and we appreciate that. It helps us a lot when you do that. Thank you very much.